I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I can't not mention it. The state of Tennessee and the NCAA settled their lawsuit this week. As expected, schools will be able to use NIL as a recruiting tool, and Tennessee will not be punished for the loud and splashy way that they went about NIL luring recruiting early on. So they're clear. Everyone seems to be taking this as, this just opens the door for the House settlement, which is coming next, and that's where it's all taken care of. Schools will be able to set aside about $20 million, pay it out. It'll be mainly football players who get it. Jimmy, I'll start with you, and this has to be very quick to everybody. But Jimmy, are you feeling hopeful or are you doubtful that the House settlement winds up being a panacea for all that's wrong with sports?
Doubtful with a capital D. There's nothing about the NCAA right now that's smooth, is there? So, and what I can envision is, okay, this is where we're going to split it up. This is the amount of money that we're going to try to distribute to football players because they bring in the most money, then men's basketball, and then you got a Title IX issue to solve. I think that they may settle it, and then they're going to face other lawsuits.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
this thing is going to continue to be
And
a mess.
the other lawsuits I see coming will be Title IX. And what they were talking about, wasn't it 90% men's football, basketball?
70%.
Sure, and but the way they're dividing that, you already got the most prominent Title IX attorney that I've heard of saying that not only is it flawed, it's illegal. So that's what you got to really overcome is how they're going to do. It's just one of the factors they'll have to overcome.
The settlement might pass. I'm not even sure about that anymore. It won't hold. Even if it does get passed, I think it's going to be at best, a very short-term solution. And even if it did get passed, I think this is the part people are missing. NIL is not going away.
You're going to have that on top of.
On top
Right.
of this. So this would just be a base way of getting some base payments out to players. And for some schools, it would be their main source of income for players. For a lot of schools, though, the schools like Tennessee, Auburn, those SEC schools, they're still going to have NIL on top of that. That would still be. So that part's not going away no matter what.
Right.
But I don't think this settlement's going to change anything, even if it does go through.
I think it's a good time to be an athlete. It's a better time to be a lawyer. So that's where the money's going to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, poor old athletes fighting out there for $40,000, and the lawyer's sitting there going, "That'll be $560 an hour." Thank you.
560.
And the big reason it won't go through, the settlement won't stay, is no one's going to be happy with it. Even if football players get 70%, they're going to say you're capping our potential.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the salary
That's
cap.
the antitrust
So it's-
aspect.
So it's going to get challenged on multiple fronts, I think, if it goes
Yeah,
through.
and there are people who say, well, the Trump administration is going to put new people in the Department of Education, so they're not even going to enforce Title IX. Okay, well, they may not. I don't know. I also heard TikTok was going away, and then it came back. But here's the thing: unless Trump is in power forever, somebody eventually will be on the other side who will say, "No, we are going to enforce Title IX." That's
Well,
how
but here's the
presidents.
deal. Even if they say that, it will
change.
still have to be litigated, and that takes time.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's I just don't see. A lot of people look at this as, oh, finally the House settlement.
No.
I don't think there's any finally to that. I just think it's going to be the next step on the road to the wild, wild west. Okay, it's basically the Oregon Trail. When we come back, we'll see who eats each other. When we come back, what states produce the most high school talent that winds up in the NFL? We'll show you. And there's been some shifting. Come on back.